and welcome to another Taylor Swift reaction video. And this time, I'm actually not doing a song. Because here's what I figure. To become a proper Swiftie, I think you kind of had to love more than just her music. You also gotta, really love her as an artist. And I don't know nearly enough about her. So I figured, what's the best way to do that? Well, Graham Norton interviews. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the extended interview with Graham Norton that he posted just recently. I think this might be clips of earlier appearances. But still, it's 11 minutes of Taylor at Graham Norton. I'll hopefully get to know her a lot better. And Graham Norton is always a lot of fun.
Taylor and Bono, have you worked together? No.
Not yet. We're going to talk about it later.
Okay. But Bono, you
Good
did a
answer.
very nice thing when Taylor got to Ireland.
I'm a Swiftie.
I mean, that's high praise. Bono, right? I mean, everyone's heard of Bono, right?
We're highly aerial birds, and over the years we've bumped into each other and been friends.
He doesn't want to take credit for the fact that he's so nice. He sent me roses when I played in Dublin.
Yep.
So he doesn't want to take credit for doing
Red
nice
roses,
He's a truly great person.
You sent that picture, there you are. The Irish Santa, Bono on the edge, Adam up.
Yeah, beautiful.
And he's just that great and thoughtful.
Like, honestly, Bono, I've only heard good things about. It is from other interviews from other celebrities, but still.
The best there is.
I better have a drink.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So Bono and Taylor not worked together, but weirdly, Taylor and Eddie, you have worked together.
We have.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was
They have?
a decade ago.
I once died in his arms in a screen test for Les Mis.
Oh, wow.
So there was a chance we could get Taylor in a musical for a while. Yeah, like as you guys confirmed in the comments of the last video, yeah, she's into her theatrics, and I think she would be great in a musical.
I did not know this.
Yeah,
I did not know this.
There's a lot that people don't know about this story. Basically, I was auditioning for 2 roles in Les Mis, and I'd done a few auditions and gone to New York and whatever, and I think it had been established that I had more of a look of Cosette, but I had the range vocally of Eponine. So it was established that, I was there for a good time, not a long time. I wasn't going to get this role. But they were like, do you want to come to London for one last screen test and you'll get to screen test with Eddie Redmayne? I'm like, this seems like an experience I want to have in my life. You're like one of my favorite actors. You're so ridiculously talented.
I mean, who wouldn't want to go to screen test even if you knew you were going to get the part, right? At least if it's someone like that, like of that caliber. Sure, I'd go too.
And I was like, so yeah, I'll go to London.
Indeed.
So I get there, and they're like, okay, so we really want to make you look like Eponine. We're gonna try to do she wasn't loaded. She had brown teeth. She didn't have a lot of money, so.
A 19th century street urchin.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to say it in a way that makes sense, but.
She didn't floss.
Exactly. So they were like, we're actually gonna paint your teeth brown for this. And I'm like, so you're gonna do that after I meet Eddie Redmayne, right? That's not something you do before. I get to meet people and then you do the brown teeth.
You do it
Like,
before.
no,
You do it
it's,
before.
This is just everybody's gonna meet you with the brown teeth, and we're gonna do big circles under your eyes, like you're near death. And I was like, this has immediately become a nightmare for me. And so then I had, you were so nice, but I think when I met you, I was like, you're so nice.
What was hilarious? As you walked in as a 19th century French street urchin, and I was not expecting that, but my overwhelming memory of it, Taylor, was I'd just been to Pizza Express beforehand, and I'd had some garlic dough balls. I thought we were going to be singing off of each other,
Yeah, this is not a great look for I know them.
Because Taylor was dressed fully as Eponine, and I was in my tracksuit. And they had us on the floor, singing sweet nothings into each other. And all I knew is I just had garlic bread.
And I had brown teeth. So
Match made in heaven.
It's one of these, it's like trying to show emotion,
but
whilst at the same time not to punish you.
You were weeping, and I just thought it was because of how I looked. I felt so bad. I have to be close to her right now. This is, yeah.
Oh, this was not the method, no?
No.
It's nice to hear we're both struggling in that moment.
Everyone starts somewhere. We've got a very early gig of Taylor. This is you. Now, you haven't sold out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a stage.
Do you remember this?
Yeah. This was a big deal for me. I was 14, and it was an event called the Nashville Rubber Duck Race. And it is exactly as it sounds. They would put rubber ducks in the river and see who won.
Wow.
And I was the official entertainment. As you can see, the banner is incredibly high concept. It just says it like it is, you know, like this is her name.
Did you?
I mean, to be fair, that works sometimes, right? Like if it's plain enough, it can be memorable. Although in that case, maybe it wasn't that memorable for a lot of the audience. And for a rubber duck race, I'm not sure how big that audience was. But then again, I mean, she was 14. She was doing great.
Did you play before the race or after the race?
Oh, you know what? That's a really good question. I think I blocked a lot of this out.
Okay, fair enough. I won't dwell. It will not be triggering.
That was the whole crowd. The whole crowd is in the
I can
shot.
see 3 people there.
They do look like fans of rubber duck racing. Alex, when they were kids dreaming of being singers, you were a kid. But am I right that when you got spotted, you didn't particularly want to be a footballer?
No, I used to play in a football cage at the end of my road with the boys. And then there was a referee in the local area who was like, there's a women's team, Arsenal, I really want to take you down. And I was like, no, I'm totally fine. My mum had packed me a Capri Sun for a packed lunch that day. I was like, I'm totally fine in this football cage. And she was like, no, we are taking you. And then I got signed to Arsenal when I was 8. Yeah, really early on.
Yeah, that's also a good story. Was just gonna say I don't know who that was, but yeah, now okay, footballer.
There was concrete, it was just nothing in there. But for me, it was everything. It's where all the dreams started. Literally, you had cars either side of this football cage, and if the ball went out, the car would come along and pop it, and that would be the end of playtime. See you tomorrow.
They should introduce that into professional football. I'd love that. Playing against a car.
I mean, my friends are so jealous that I'm getting to meet you because we just look at you as such an inspiration, like breaking through in such a male-dominated industry. You should be so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what, and I love as well because you've done so much with the US national team when they've won and you've brought them out on stage.
Sorry to the US national team, but sorry for what Sweden did to you. But yeah, go Sweden. Really looking forward to the quarterfinals against Japan on Friday. I hope we're gonna win. Because I mean, at this point, I feel like Sweden's going to go right. If you're not following the Sweden's the Women's World Cup, that's perfectly fine. You should. It's a lot of fun.
And we see that over here and we're like, that is it. How incredible is that? So we know you've always been behind supporting other women and leading the way. So thank you.
That's amazing.
We're having a love-in.
Taylor, you know, we've talked about the Swifties and how much they love you, and fans sometimes find unlikely things. Like, I think in Canada, by accident,
What did you do?
From 1989 was released, but it wasn't a real track. It was 8 seconds of static.
Yes, this happened maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah.
And what happened to that track that was 8 seconds of static?
It went number 1.
Of course it
I
did.
don't know how, but maybe it's some metaphor, some symbolism about the sounds of silence and having a moment of quiet.
I love someone trying to present a chart show in Canada and going, and now it's number 1.
It was ridiculous. I don't.
Like,
I
I'm
don't
not
even
surprised.
know how I don't know why I'm this lucky and have them doing stuff like that for me.
Swifties, and I think there are some here.
I mean, Bono was one of them.
Because Taylor's new album, Midnight, it's out now. I've got it here. Now, there are different ones, aren't there? Different ones.
Yes.
So I've got, which one have I got?
You've got the main version of it. Yeah, that's the standard version. It's a concept album, and the main question is what keeps you up at night. So it's, you know, you could be up at night because you're reeling from just having met someone and you're falling for them, or you could be plotting revenge. You could be...
Well, yeah.
You could, yeah, you could be thinking about the time that they painted your teeth brown.
Or, you could be playing Baldur's Gate 3.
you could be thinking about what could have been. You know, there's just so many
Yeah.
possibilities. If you give that, like, if you think of that as like a creative writing prompt, which is what I did, that's where the album came from.
And this album,
That's a fun idea for an album. I gotta say, like, you just going, this is a concept, like this question in a sense, and then just whatever comes to mind to answer that question. Yeah, fun idea. I should listen to some. Give me some recommendations from Midnight for the next one.
couldn't have only. I mean, amazing reviews. You broke streaming records, and a lot of the rave reviews have asked the question, and it is a question, that the great songwriting on this album is part of it due to the fact that you've been doing this sort of strange work of re-recording your back catalogue. So it was like you were doing homework on songwriting.
I think so. I really do. I've been re-recording my first 6 albums because there was a thing that happened where I had wanted to own my work of my first 6 albums. And when I changed record labels, my first 6 albums were actually sold away from me. And so I decided to I just figured if I made them the first time, I can make them again.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It's a brilliant way to solve that. Just is. And I mean, obviously a lot of work, but a brilliant idea.
But tell me this, is it working? Like, are radio stations playing the Taylor version?
Yes, there's actually, one of the things I was most thankful for was there's a company of many stations in America called iHeart, and they have sworn to only play my new versions, and they've said that they'll switch it out for the old versions every time I put out a new version of a song, which is just like, it's so heartwarming to me because this is something that I care about, but I don't expect other people to care about it. It's something that's very personal to me, and it's a lot of work, but it's like, it's really fun and rewarding for me, and I can't believe people have actually gotten behind it the way they have.
And doing this, going back over your old work, has led to this wonderful thing where, so All Too Well is now, I know, it's now a short film.
Yes.
So it was a short song, then it was a longer song, and now it's a short film.
I'll get to it, but I feel like I should get more water under the bridge first, more meat on the bone, however you want to say. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to that one. We will get to it later this year, hopefully.
Okay, how do I shorten this? So basically, All Too Well was a song that came out originally on an album called Red, which came out in 2012. I always loved this song. It was never a single, but the fans really loved this song. And I had made the mistake of saying in an interview the truth, which is that it had started out as a 10-minute song with like 6 or 7 extra verses, and we had to cut it down to the sort of 4.5, 5-minute length that it ended up. My fans would not let it go. They were like, I'd be doing an interview for something else, albums later, and they'd be like, where's the 10-minute version? Where is it? So basically...
I get it. I mean, if I found out that some of my favorite songs from some of my favorite artists had extended versions, I would be dying to get to experience all of them.
For the re-record, I was like, I am going to put out the 10-minute version. I'm just gonna show them what it was. And you know what? I really want to tell a story that goes along with it visually, that's more than a music video. I'd been directing my music videos for a while at this point, and writing and directing them was really fun for me.
I didn't know she did that. That's cool. Applause for that. Yeah, definitely worth applause. I think there are very few artists who do that, and these days, for a few, I think some of my favorites also do it, and I think it just makes them better because obviously the artist knows the songs best, right?
I just love it. It's a very natural extension of my storytelling. So I thought I want to make a short film and really do this song justice, and also create a short film that stands on its own. So I was very lucky to be able to cast Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien to be these 2 young lovers. And I'm really, really, really proud of it.
You gotta wait for the vignette. Yeah, that was a great interview. She seems very likable, and from like my wife told me that she's also friends with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. That's my major plus in my book. Yeah, like different video to make, but it's always a lot of fun to see the people behind the music, in a sense. And I think Graham Norton is pretty good at getting people to open up. So yeah, there were some other suggestions that we'll get to down the line. But for now, I will have to try to edit this as fast as I can and get it out before I have to sit down and stream a brand new video game called Stray Gods over on my gaming channel. So if you see this and it is still the 9th and not 10 o'clock p.m. European time, then head over there and join me for a live role-playing musical with music by Austin Wintory and actresses Laura Bailey and Ashley Johnson and Felicia Day and Troy Baker and a lot of other great names in the cast. It seems like an amazing game, and I'm looking forward to playing it. And actually, before release, it releases tomorrow. And if you're watching this after that time slot, which you probably will at this hour, because I have 30 minutes to set that up and also edit this when I get this up. But if you watch this later, check out the VOD. I hope and think it's a game a lot of people who maybe otherwise wouldn't play all games would be really into. So definitely worth checking out over on my gaming channel that plays games. But with that out of the way, I'm gonna go and edit this now and get it up. And I'll see you in the next one. Give me some suggestions in the comments below. Goodbye.